Dr. Jim Rankin joins us again today to talk about current sales for tractors and combine harvesters, and of course what the rest of the year, what we predict. I hope you can answer that question, Jim. Welcome once again. How are the current sales for tractors and combine harvesters?
At the moment, we're very happy with the sales. There seems to be an upward flip the first 2 months of the year, comparing year on year, and that's a good sign for us.
And how does it compare to last year this time?
We, as I say, they're up, and we always look for reasons. The agriculture machinery industry isn't like, for example, the motor industry, where it's very easy to compare month on month. The agriculture machinery industry is very dynamic, and one needs to look behind the sales figures. And currently, there was a difficult start to the year. The rain was very patchy. Some farmers got in early and were able to plant. Some farmers had to plant late, and some farmers even had to replant, which is an expensive business. But with the rain becoming more general from about the middle of December, there's a lot more certainty in the market, and this is shown up in the January and February figures. And I think that's the reason why month on month the figures are up this year on last year.
Mm. Any other points that, according to you, stand out?
I think so. We received the crop forecasts from the Crop Estimates Committee at the end of February, and those are very encouraging. Overall, the areas planted to the major summer crops are very similar to last year. But the yields overall, if you look at it overall, are up about 10%. That means that the yields are up, which is a good sign, because that's the profit is on the top. The extra ton of maize or half a ton of sorghum is important, because that goes straight to the bottom line. So they're looking very, very encouraging. The commodity prices are good. So I think overall the perceptions in the market are very favourable. That doesn't mean to say that we're going to have a blockbuster year. We've had good tractor sales and good combine sales. So a lot of the oldest machines have been replaced, but I think that overall it's going to be as good a year as last year, and probably a little bit better than we'd expected. Not what we hoped, but what we expected.
Mm. What else can have an influence on the rest of the year if we look at the prediction? Obviously, we now we're in the towards the end of March. Most of the crops will be assured, except for the very late planted crops. So I think it's a question of obviously frost has a bearing on maize. We hope that the frost doesn't come too soon, but it looks good at the moment. There is stock available in the country. We've had stock problems over the past years. We've talked about that quite extensively. But there's stocks in the country of most of the brands and of the tractor sizes. Combine stocks, there's plenty of combines available in stock. So that shouldn't be a problem. So I wouldn't say it's going to be plain sailing from here. It never is in the agriculture machinery industry. But as I say, the perceptions in the industry they've moved from cautiously optimistic to optimistic. So it's looking pretty good. And despite everything happening in the world, the Rand-dollar exchange rate remains quite stable as well. It is, yes. It's surprising. I mean, the rand is one of the more volatile currencies, and yes, it's moved, but it hasn't moved that much. No names, no pectoral, but all sorts of things have been happening in the world, which could have had an adverse effect on the rand, but it's holding against the euro and the US dollar. It's holding quite well.
Thinking about the Western Cape, their planting season is only coming up now, and we're not sure what the prediction will be as far as yields as well as the weather is concerned. Would that have a major effect, perhaps?
It does have an effect. It certainly does. I was thinking of it as I was coming here. We've come out. I think the last season was not too bad. The wine grape season, they've just finished their harvest. I don't think it was great. So yes, we're moving, as you say, into the planting season. Obviously, I think that they had fairly good rains, so that the water table should be ready for planting. I don't know what the expectations are for the rest of the season, but initial indications are fairly good for the Western Cape as well.
One more thing, we've got Nampo coming up, and I think by the time we chat to you again, that might be after Nampo. The machinery that's on sale there, is that something that gets imported now for Nampo, or is it available already? How does it work?
That's a tough question, and it's only answered on the Monday of Nampo, because then the machine is there or it is not there. I remember quite clearly when I was with Malcolm S, which at the time, it's a long time ago. Nobody will remember except me. I remember that we wanted to show a tractor, and there was a pin that held the front axle to the tractor, and it was missing. So we couldn't put it on the show. So that's how critical things are. And I was speaking to somebody the other day, and they were wanting to exhibit something, and will it, won't it? Will it, won't it? It's something that is only finalized possibly the week before Nampo, because obviously there's companies who want to launch new equipment.
Of course.
And will it be there or won't it? We have our problems in the ports, and that's part of it. But it's really only answered very close to Nampo.
So that is a more than $1 million question.
$1 million is an expensive machine. We have a few $1 million machines. I think the $1 million machines will be there.
Right. Good. Something to look forward to.
Yes, indeed. Very much so.
Yeah. Jim, thank you very much for joining us today. As I said, I'm sure we'll talk to you close to Nampo or just after Nampo. That would be a good discussion to see how things were going. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lisa.
Dr. Jim Rankin talking to us about current sales for tractors and combine harvesters and predictions for the rest of the year.